Hello again, everybody. It's me, Marcus, and I'm reviewing the song Cyboogie by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, which, by the way, it's one of the funnest band names I've ever heard in my damn life. And, yeah, I've heard one other song by King Gizzard, and it's Mars for the Rich. Did it on the channel, kind of enjoyed it. I'd still jam it out. It's on my playlist, so, you know, pretty solid. What I've heard about King Gizzard is that many of their projects are very different from one another. And so I just, judging by the name alone, I wonder if this is going to be sort of the hard rock, heavy metal side that I saw in the last review, or if it's going to be something a little bit different. So anyway, this was a recommendation by somebody, so thank you for whoever recommended it. Definitely checking it out right now, obviously. And they also have some really interesting song titles. So you guys, after my first King Gizzard video, you guys really started suggesting a lot more of their music. And yeah, they've got a lot of weird song titles, so I'm really interested to see. And I don't know if this is like official song or album artwork I'm looking at right here, but really excited to see what this is going to be about. So anyway, this is Cyboogie. This is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Let's jam. God damn it.
Bye.
I feel like this has sort of become one of my sayings on this channel, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. But I liked it. So, my one experience with King Gizzard was March for the Rich, which was much more of a hard rock, heavy metal sound about, how we're going to ruin our planet with global warming and shit, and how all the rich people are going to go to Mars, and then Earth will be just with poor people who are suffering through, total climate change annihilation. Good stuff, right? And so then this comes along, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, so what I had heard about them having very differing styles throughout all of their albums was very much true, because this did not sound anything like that first song I had heard. So you saw me like typing and stuff during this while I was listening to the song, because I was curious. I wanted to know a little bit more about King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They're Australian, which, I feel like Australia has carved out a nice little reputation on the internet for being just a really weird place, and so I kind of, it kind of makes sense here as far as the stereotypes goes. Right here, this is the part that got me. They are known for their energetic live shows and prolific recording output, having released 2 EPs and 15 studio albums since their formation. Now, that may not seem too crazy, but when you look at when they formed, the band formed in 2010. So in a decade, they've put out 15 studio albums. That's insane. And in fact, I was wondering, I was like, wait, it said this song was released in 2019, but it's not off of their other album. And I was like, oh, wait, they released 2 albums in 2019, Fishing for Fishies and Infest the Rat's Nest. So yeah, and already and this part got me too. In 2020, it's only been about 2 months long so far, the band released 3 live albums. So shit, live in Adelaide 19, live in Paris 19, and live in Brussels 19. Jeez. But the good news is they pledged those proceeds to relief of the Australian bushfire. So that was good, positive. So yeah, they've wow, this one was very different in style than one, than I was expecting. 2, than the other songs that I had heard. So I got a lot to say about this one. I'm going to start with the lyrics. Let's start with the lyrics. So, it starts with just Cyboogie, boogie, boogie, Cyboogie, Cyboogie. Cyboogie, a hunk of gray mat. Multitude cells in his metallic dome. Brine fluid floating within, flows between nodes in his cognizance home. Cyboogie, augmented senses. Scholarship vogue called for celebration. But was it a consciousness can? Bouncy ball thoughts in his cerebration. So, it's about a robot, I guess. But a robot that can think. I guess it has feelings, probably. It kind of sounds like it's a brain. Like an actual human brain, maybe, but it's a cyborg. So then, I don't know if it makes sense to try to make sense of some of their songs, but I'm trying anyway. So, Cyboogie, Cyboogie, Cyboogie. It says boogie. He says the word boogie a lot, and which automatically conjures up a 1970s image here, and immediately I'm the only other song I know that uses the word boogie in it, just off the top of my head, is "Boogie in Your Butt" by Eddie Murphy. And I'm sure there's more that I'm just totally forgetting, but I'm like, why? Why did you make me think of that, King Gizzard? Anyway, verse 2. Cyboogie's heart is a mess, cables and knots in his cavity chest. Cyboogie's feeling depressed, need to debug and run over the tests. Cyboogie's ticker ain't flesh. It says ain't flesh here, but I feel like fresh made more sense. Cyboogie's ticker ain't flesh makes sense too. His heart isn't flesh. Cyboogie's ticker ain't flesh. Pistons and pumps under graphene lattice. No people to service the mess when he breaks down in spiritual stress. So, it sounds like it's a story about a robot who's gained sentience. He's gained, his brain works, his heart works, he's depressed. But this part's interesting. No people to service the mess when he breaks down in spiritual stress. So this is a robot who's learned to even think spiritually. I'm assuming this isn't I could be totally wrong here. I'm assuming that this is not necessarily a metaphor for anything. that they really just did decide to write about a depressed cyborg who likes to boogie, I guess. But I could totally be wrong. So then Cyboogie, boogie, boogie, boogie until verse 3. Cyboogie, lump in his throat, palpitations and nausea ensue. Cyboogie's chorophobia. I gotta look that up. I want to know what that is. Chorophobia. Chorophobia is the fear of dancing. People suffering from chorophobia will do anything and everything to avoid dancing. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I guess that makes sense. Choreograph, chorophobia. That makes sense. Shit, man. That's funny. So, why the fuck is he called Cyboogie then? Anyway, Cyboogie, lump in his throat, palpitations and nausea ensue. Cyboogie's chorophobia, terminal error, vascular tissue. So Cyboogie's fishing for fishies, red-bellied trout in a binary brook. How is it that he is depressed? The humans have pierced through his cheek with a hook. Huh. So I guess he's depressed because people use him as a tool, maybe? Like I said, I need to assume that this is just about a robot who hates to dance. Because I don't know. Anyway, with the outro, he says boogie a lot, and apparently, if you do some weird shit, to the recording, you can make out some words. So Cyboogie, yes, dance with the devil, yes, go forth, yes, boogie, boogie, boogie. Now the stars watch their silhouettes, yes. They left Africa dancing, yes. Their apex was dance, yes. Homo sapiens existed for 200,000 years, yes. Cool. You know what I'm thinking is when it said no humans around to like service him and stuff, and the humans have put a hook in his mouth. I think humans are dead. Humans are gone. They don't exist anymore. And the only good thing they ever made was dance. But he's depressed because he doesn't like to dance. So all he's left with is the dance, and he doesn't even like to do it. Man, I don't fucking know. Someone who's more familiar with this band, please leave it in the comments what the hell this song is about. Because you know me, like if you've ever watched any of my videos, you can, I get pretty close to the mark. I'm usually able to say what a song is mostly about. This one, man, I'm again, I don't know if it even makes sense to try to make sense of King Gizzard songs, but here I am trying to do it. But hey, lyrically it's a little repetitive, but it was also very interesting. I'm glad I had the lyrics pulled up as I was listening to it, because I don't know if I would have been able to make out some of what he was saying. So for that reason, yeah, I give it a thumb up. Why not? Lyrically, yeah, it's weird. I like weird. I'm digging it. Instrumentally and vocally, obviously they were going for a very tech, with the vocals and everything, they were easily through, a filter that made it sound more like a robot, right? And the instrumentation was very reminiscent of like a 70s disco thing, or even like with the weird 80s like Eddie Murphy type boogie in her butt type pop, I guess, But other than that, for what it was, for the product that they were going for, the instrumentation really worked. And the vocals really worked. And so, although I don't know if there's anything here that is just absolutely remarkable, I think for what it's worth, it worked. For what the song is trying to do, it worked. And, it's catchy enough. Like, I would say the instrumentation, the main kind of, I guess, riff that was permeating throughout the song was catchy enough to kind of go along with it. So, and even with the repetitive lyrics, I still enjoyed listening to it. So it was silly, it was funny, it kind of made me laugh, but it was still kind of an enjoyable listen. So I guess in that regard, I'll give it a thumb up also. As far as replay factor goes, I definitely want to put this on my playlist, and I want to listen to it again. I also want to really listen to it in the context of other King Gizzard songs and really kind of just see, how different their styles can be. So, a few of you have recommended other songs for me to listen to by them, and I definitely want to get to them. This one right here, Lord of Lightning versus the Balrog, sounds pretty badass, and that might have to be the next one I do by them. So anyway, replay factor, I'll give it a thumb up. I don't know if I'm going to always seek this type of song out, but just like March for the Rich, every now and then I'm like, you know what, I do want to listen to that song. So I think it does have a little bit of replay value here for me, and I'll probably be revisiting it pretty shortly, probably when I jump in the car in a couple minutes as I'm headed to where I need to go. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Thanks for the recommendation. I definitely want to hear more from King Gizzard now, for sure. So as always, if you like the music as well, go support the artist. Listen to their music wherever you can. Hey, go listen to those live albums, because it could really help out the Australian bushfire, that whole crisis, help support with that. So if you want to support me, do all the normal stuff you do on YouTube, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. You can check out my Spotify playlist. It's in the description down below. It'll have every song that I've listened to so far on my channel, so go check it out. This song will be on there. And then if you want to see more from me, you can check me out on Twitter. I see some of you have already followed me. I'm assuming it's you guys, because I don't know who the hell else would follow me on Twitter. So anyway, thanks for that. I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye.